There is an excellent video by the channel Sideswipe BL entitled X Bungie Next to New Bungie, a video in which the creator claimed to have been inspired by, though not nearly as good as, Crowcat's video about 343. Now, what is remarkable to me about this video is that 3 seconds in, everything falls into place. You know exactly what the problem is as soon as you see this image. And this actually helped inspire the next piece of a video series I'm doing about truth is consensus. But here I feel the need to talk about why long-form videos exist in the first place, and why they pervaded the internet for a long time now. In February of 2022, there was an anonymous 4chan post that dissected one of the internet's most influential platforms with surgical precision, accompanied by a meme featuring Reddit's Snoo mascot and a crossed-out George Orwell attribution. The thread argued that Reddit functions less as a neutral discussion forum and more as a highly sophisticated mechanism for ideological conditioning through language manipulation. Naturally, the proposition here is that Reddit is not just a place where people post shitty memes and propaganda. Rather, Reddit's system enforces a form of self-censorship that echoes the newspeak of Orwell's 1984. A controlled vocabulary designed to make certain thoughts increasingly difficult, if not impossible, to articulate. At its core, this critique identifies Reddit's language etiquette as the primary instrument of control. This means that users are trained to avoid provocative language under threat of downvotes, or negative karma, or shadow bans, or outright removal from the site. And what that means is that real problems cannot be named directly, and one may only discuss symptoms. Any direct confrontation with uncomfortable realities is reframed as toxic. It's hate speech. And equally insidious is the demand for sanitized terminology. Slurs are replaced with euphemisms like POC. Retarded becomes uneducated, and fat is softened to thick. These substitutions are presented as basic respect, yet they systematically narrow the conceptual tools available to users. This linguistic regime produces predictable results. Left-leaning positions flow naturally within the permitted vocabulary. They sound coherent, morally righteous. But meanwhile, any dissident perspectives, particularly those from the right, are forced into awkward contortions or rendered ridiculous. For instance, a user attempting to critique demographic trends, cultural patterns, or institutional failures is forced to navigate a minefield of forbidden words and framing, often resulting in very vague, hedged statements that lack any persuasive power. Now, the platform's karma system and algorithmic promotion reinforce compliance, creating a feedback loop where approved speech is amplified and dissenting voices are quietly suppressed or driven toward more extreme expressions outside the bounds of respectable etiquette. Now, the point of me talking about all this is that do you see how by controlling the range of acceptable expressions, a platform effectively reshapes the range of acceptable thought? And so what happens over time? Well, users will internalize these constraints, and they will adopt the platform's implicit ideology, not through any overt argument, but through the very structure of how they are allowed to speak. And this accompanying meme captures the essence perfectly. Reddit's Snoo stands behind the warning. Don't you see how the whole aim of newspeak is to narrow the range of thought? In the end, we shall make thought crime literally impossible because there will be no words in which to express it. And while the attribution to Orwell is playfully crossed out, likely acknowledging the quote's paraphrased nature, the parallel remains potent. Reddit did not invent political correctness, but it industrialized it. It gamified it on an unprecedented scale. And that brings me to the title of this video, long-form content in a nutshell. I think the main difference between the chud and the centrist libertarian is that the chud need only look at the first 3 seconds of this video and see this screenshot, and immediately they know what the problem is. They can name it in an instant. Meanwhile, a centrist libertarian sees this screenshot and says, "Oh, I know what the problem is. But if I say that out loud, whoa, that makes me a bigot, that makes me racist." And so they proceed to make a 12-hour video talking about it instead, all in a a vain attempt to talk about a subject matter while simultaneously trying to avoid being called racist for having a normal opinion.